Attendee Spotlight, and it's just great.
Now, check this out, guys. Remember when we said this was about your own personal broadcast studio? We weren't kidding here. You can now invite any of your webinar attendees to instantly become a guest, a host, or a presenter in your webinar at any time.
With their camera as well.
That's right. So all of a sudden, boom, you see them, you hear them. Now, as always, Mike and I always say, why would you want to do this? We always ask, why would you want to do this? Well, here's our reason.
You can ask your buyers to tell you why they purchased your offer.
Boom.
I mean, that's great. You know, they can use their microphone, share their screen, or even activate the webcam and appear live to all your attendees. This is great. Like you see this, you see this all the time with just voice, but imagine like on QVC.
Yeah.
They talk to the
They call
dial-up,
in, right.
So now imagine having a person that looks like this guy in this next slide telling you why he maybe purchased 3 months ago and telling everybody why they need to buy now, or what just happened on the webinar. There he says, once you guys showed me Attendee Spotlight, I had to buy. I can't imagine the things I'm going to be able to do with this thing.
Right, so they come in, you just ask them to share their experiences, and you know what? You ask them to share their concept about why they bought. What was their motivating desire to take action? Because sometimes that's all your attendees need, is to see what, you know, not the superstar is doing, but what every other person is doing. So this is also pretty cool, and we're definitely going to exploit this year. Let's say you see a friend, right? Or a celebrity, or maybe a known personality in your industry on your webinar, because we see that all the time, right? Hey, there's Frank, or, you know, there's Brendan, or something like that. Now, you can invite them with a few words and then add them to the actual presentation. So let's think about all the things that you could use for this.
Yeah, this is absolutely amazing for Q&A, coaching, hands-on training, guest appearances, as we just said, or demonstrations, doing hot seats.
Love this part.
Love this one.
Love this one.
Because we actually do this with our Genesis Labs customers, and it wasn't easy for us to do this now.
Yeah.
We
had to have them call in on Skype.
Give them a Skype link to click to get into the Hangout. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, now basically, we do site reviews, right? So they show us they literally press a button. Hey, it's Joe, presses a button, here's my squeeze page, and we're like, oh, wait a minute, oh my, and then we, you know, coach them, put them on the hot seat, and then when we're done, we send them away. But also, you know, again, start thinking about WebinarJam Studio as your personal broadcast studio. You also can use this as a vehicle to collect testimonials.
Yeah, this one is strong. Look, we showed you before with the video engine how you can play a testimonial. Maybe somebody gave you at a live event.
Yeah.
But here's what I want you to think that happens. When you're a good speaker and you're at a live event, you see some of your customers and you say, hey, Andy, I'm going to be doing my presentation. I know you're in my coaching program. I'm going to pick on about 3 or 4 of my students. So if you can please stay in the audience, and I'm going to call on you. And then that guy has the microphone go out and say, guys, I just want to let you know, my business was here before I started working with Jim. 1 year with working with Jim, I'm now here. You'd be crazy not to get started with him. Thank you.
And by the way, I paid twice as much.
Right, exactly.
These are the things that we see.
So when we shared this with Russell Brunson, because he does this on stage.
He might have grown old, like 1 month. So now he looks 19.
He's knocking on the door for the beta every single day. He knows how he's going to be able to use this, knowing the customers that are in there. You can even invite your customers to the webinar and then tell them to raise their hand at the appropriate time and bring them right in.
So this is really hard to do, though. No, just kidding. See, here's the thing. You can completely do this on the fly because they don't need a special link. You just click on their name in the chat roll. That means you don't need to know in advance who you're going to pick. That means if somebody shows up late, like, you know, Lord, none of our friends are ever late for their stuff. So you don't need to know who in advance you're going to pick. And once they do click that button, they don't need to configure any special settings. It literally is like 2 clicks in their end. So the point is, you just do it, and it just works.
Yeah, nothing pre-configured. And if you don't know, maybe if some of the customers, you can just say something off the cuff, like, and if you happen to have bought this product in the past, just click raise your hand. We'd love to know why.
Right, it seriously,
works.
It's this simple. You can invite them, or they raise their hands. You literally press a button to accept. They get a little confirmation that basically is just a warning to, like, put some pants on, that their microphone and their camera's about to go live, and then they show up. And here's the nice thing, you're not stuck with these people. Maybe maybe they're drinking, you got them on for a little while, you're like, oh no, Frank's gone off the deep end. So when you're done, you just click.
As they say in the news when they've got to get somebody off, they say, and we're going to have to leave it right there. And
Boom.
And as Hector calls it, the eject button. I said, Hector, I don't think we need
I think we experimented with having a hook, like from the
stage?
Gong Show. Yeah, exactly.
It's just that simple, guys.
That's exactly right. I mean, think about it, guys. Isn't that incredible? What are all of the possibilities you could have here? Interviewing your prospects, like seriously, diving into your presentation and asking them specific questions and giving them specific answers to their objections. Imagine how much authority and trust this will earn when you're in there mixing it up with your people.
And let the power of Attendee Spotlight help you let others close more sales for you.
Because closing sales is a lot of work. If you can get a group of people who know, like, and trust you.
About this feature.
Right? I mean, because our customers they're crazy. They're cool and they love us or they hate us, but they're still customers. But we'll go get the crazy fun ones and they will help us grow our business.
I'm going to say one more thing on that. It's easy for you and me to do webinars. We've always spoken about the dynamic of sometimes saying, I think I'm running out of what I'm going to say, I'm going to close, turn it over to my partner. Sometimes having that dynamic of being able to pull people into your webinar allows your brain to reset and reshift as they're talking and then
they're
get
like
back
a catalyst, right?
Yeah.
They give you a couple of really cool points and you're like, I want to expand on those points. And guess what? You keep giving more and more and more value, which we all know is about sales. So for real this time, that is WebinarJam Studio. Guys, we believe it is the biggest leap in webinar technology yet. So big that it is still a crime to call them just webinars.